have Darnold in every best ball draft I've done so far as like my second QB. I think I think the Jets made a huge mistake. I really do. I think that he was, I mean, you have no idea, Jordan. You have no idea, man. I was like devastated. I was like, you can build up this team, build it around Darnold, build it around a guy. If you're going to groom a guy, you got a guy who's got a couple of years experience, right? He knows the NFL game. He's got the skill set. He just hasn't had a coach. I mean, Adam Gase, you can't blame somebody for having Gase as a coach.
Ryan Tannehill, once he got away from Gase, went from bad to good. And Sam Darnold's very capable of doing the exact same thing and then some with the Joe Brady effect. It's not like Tannehill went from Gase to Brady. He went from Gase to who is it now? It's like went to Smith, but now there's a new coordinator in town. And so like just getting away from Gase is enough to go from bad to good. Imagine what it could be from Gase to Joe Brady. That's insane to me with all those weapons in Carolina. And I hate to say it, but speaking of charity, I made a bet with G-Man J for charity, who is going to average the most fantasy points per game between Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz. And if I win, because I picked Sam Darnold, he has to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. And if he wins, if Carson Wentz ends up with more fantasy points per game than Sam Darnold, I'm going to donate to Carson Wentz's charity. And so it's a win-win-win-win, but I'm thinking about all these pros in the column for Sam Darnold and thinking about, like, even if he has like that Jameis Winston type season where we see his ceiling and he still has the turnovers, that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, as a Panthers fan, we gave up a second and a fourth, and then in this draft, Scott Fitterer made up all of that draft capital and some by just getting guys that fell like Terrace Marshall, who's going to help in the red zone, Tommy Tremble, who's going to help with those like swing passes, McCaffrey, lead blocker. And I mean, we're going to give Sam Darnold the position to thrive, and that's, week one we give him the Jets, which is like, I'm a Panthers fan, so I'm excited about the matchup. I know Salah is a guy that's a great DC, but I'll take let's give Zach Wilson's very first game. And, oh, don't worry. I kind of see this game going like this. This is pretty much the description that I have. Exactly what happened.
Man. Come on. Getting trolled by SpongeBob memes. That's right.
And then after the game, don't worry. This is they're gonna make up for it. Salah's gonna take care of Wilson, and then lastly, Wilson's gonna get prepped up, ready for next week, and star in his next show because it's mighty important for Sam Darnold. But realistically, how do you expect that game to go and kind of the season for the Jets? I know it seems like you're down because of the Darnold trade, but I personally like the coaching move you guys have because he's a guy that you can believe in. And I know Wilson isn't the guy that necessarily a lot of people are believing in, but I think he brings a spark to a team that just hasn't had one in a long time.
And you're completely right. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that's really what Saleh is all about. He's a motivational coach, but he's also a guy who can get down and dirty with his players, and he's an authority figure there also. It's like Herm Edwards was always like a rah-rah. He was like the players coach kind of guy, but he was a cheerleader. At least Saleh, I think Saleh's got tremendous knowledge. I'm a big fan of Saleh. Listen, I think that the Jets are in the right direction right now. I might not have liked the Zach Wilson choice or going with, or getting rid of Darnold. But, I mean, I think they did some good things. They had a plan for the draft, and they actually executed it. Not fully to my liking, but I knew they were taking Zach Wilson. I loved the trade-up for Vera Tucker. I love the trade-up for him.
I gave them an A+ first-round grade because of that trade, because Elijah Vera Tucker as a run blocker is elite. He's going to open up so many lanes to bring them balance. And even if they don't have the most talented running backs, they won't need it because those lanes are going to be humongous on the left side behind AVT and big, gigantic, athletic Mekhi Becton, who's he's terrifying. Like, the guy is probably the softest, most gentle person on earth, and he is terrifying to look at.